Hello, you guys. Welcome back. I'm so excited. I want to keep today short, but I really love the topic of conversation that's been coming up this week. So I read the word, let me pull this up so I can give you guys the exact definition. I read the word resolve in a book this week, and it really hit home to me because I was like, well, that sounds powerful, but what the heck does it mean? And it means, resolve means, decide firmly on a course of action. So I know what resolve means, like resolving an argument or things like that. But when someone says you need to move forward with resolve, or he moved forward with resolve, or she moved forward with resolve, they decided firmly on a course of action. So, how does that relate to this world of moving beyond your thinking mind to your spirit? For me, for me and everyone, the conditioned mind is so strong and so habitual. Not powerful, because your spirit is more powerful than your mind. But for me, it's like if we need to get past this to this, we want to move past our conditioning to our unconditioned self. Why? Because our unconditioned self is where we get to feel these deeper states of being. I mean, that's it right there. That's the journey. That's the journey. I want to stop looking for peace, love, connection, kindness, whatever it is that you desire in the outside world, because you'll go your whole life and it doesn't live there. We all fall victim to it, me too. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I was doing it there again. And then you wake up and you're going out here, you're doing things, you're reverted back in, reverted back in, reverted back in. So this journey home to me takes resolve. Um, you know, the mind is the brain is so strong that we can easily, if we are not grounded in what we want and we do not decide firmly on a course of action, and we're right at that center console where life is happening, and we observe and we witness what's going on up here, we're taken away. We're caught up in the storm. We go a whole day and we're like, what happened? And we end up, with a pile of snot and tears on the ground with Kleenex, and we're like, where did I go? Which is fine. That's also a human experience. So hold this loosely and hold this gently. This isn't a tool or a technique, but I just think it would be so beautiful if we could really choose what we want with resolve. Like, what are you looking for in the outside world? We're going to talk a bit about this at the upcoming retreat that I'm doing this in 3 weeks, which I'll tell you about afterwards. But what are you trying to get to in the outside? So you can journal about this and look in your life and see, okay, I want safety in my bank account. I want connection in my relationship with my lover. I want peace in my home life. I want acceptance in my body, whatever. And usually there's a through line, because whatever you want plays itself out in the outside world. Now, you're going to fall victim to this your whole life. I hope not, but it's okay if you do, because it's normal and human. We look for these things that are states of being in the outside world. So we're looking for something that's a formless energy inside of us, a state of being, a feeling, in form, that's neutral, that doesn't have anything. So what happens in our life sometimes is we feel this formless state of being. We look out into the world like we're falling in love, or we have a cup of coffee, or we shop, or we spend money, or we gamble, or whatever. Feel this state of being, and we relate it to the thing that's happening on the outside world. So we spend our whole lives trying to grab onto moving parts. Everything out there is moving and changing, and it isn't solid and stable, and we're exhausted, right? So look, take a minute, sit, meditate, journal. Where am I trying to find an inner state of being out there? And then you're like, well, what's the point in living life if I realize it's inside of myself? Well, life becomes a joy. Life becomes I want to create for the sake of creating, because I want to, not because I have to fill a void. So it's just two different ways of being in the world. So once you figure out what it is, mind-eye connection is such a big thing for me. And I can easily, because of my conditioning, go up into shutting off, hiding. I don't want to connect with you. It doesn't look safe. So in the moments that my mind grabs me and just wants to hide and run away and be angry and just conditioning, that isn't me, that's my conditioning. Same with the stuff you experience isn't you, it's your conditioning. Then I've got this intention. I've got this space. I've got this, what is the most important thing to me, connection. So with resolve, my desired course of action, I hold here and I'm like, oh, interesting. I can observe that instead of getting swept up in the fear of connection and wherever my mind goes. I'm here because it's the most important thing to me. And I observe what my mind's doing. I don't suppress it. I don't deny it. I go, look at that. That feels strong. That's bold. And then I stay here and I open up to my unconditioned self. That's your unconditioned self is not afraid to connect, not afraid to love. Your unconditioned self is connected, is love, is one. It's that deeper dimension of us. So we have both, and it's confusing because we see the physical and we're caught up in the physical. But sometimes I think it takes a little bit more than just kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You know, that's where I always was with this spiritual stuff. And I'm really starting to see, wow, man, you've got to just be grounded in my spirit, my unconditioned self, connection, love, safety, whatever it is that you desire inside, not an outside thing, an inner state of being. That is more important to me than getting caught up in form. And I want to know that in this lifetime. And so when you get caught up, it's like you have this reference point and you wake up, oh, right, connection's more important to me than acting like this right now or getting caught up in my conditioning right now. And you get caught up in your conditioning, that's fine. No shame or guilt around that. That's, again, a normal human experience. But it's just nice to just bring this energy into your life with resolve. I really want this and I'm determined and I set this course of action and I don't care if my mind thinks this isn't real or possible or whatever, but this is what I want. And then when you're in that energy and you're in that intention, you'll start to see when anything else that isn't in alignment with that comes up and you have that choice. You're at that center console and you can go, do I want to go down my old conditioning or do I want to stay here? And with time and patience and compassion, we start to let go of that conditioning and we start to live more in that state of being that we want to live in. Now, if we don't feel the connection or the love or the joy or the whatever it is that we want, it doesn't mean that it's not there. It just means that we're so caught up in the past stuff, we don't feel it. But with resolve, we go, okay, I don't know this way of life. I want to know this way of life. I don't care if the rest of the world doesn't live this way or they'll think that I'm crazy for living this way. I'm the only one that's this happy. With resolve, this is what I want. I'm staking my claim. This is my life. And then I'm going to let the universe, the energies, whatever we want to say, align accordingly to what is most important to me. It's the non-physical has to be more important than the physical. And then you just dance and play in the physical, right? So it's not one's worse or better or best or bad or good. It's just that I care more about peace. I care more about connection than I do getting caught up in conditioning and concepts and beliefs and all that. That'll happen, but I want a deeper resting place. So hopefully this helps you meditate on it, journal. Any questions you have, let me know. And as I was mentioning before, I'm doing a retreat with the amazing David Gandelman in Ojai, California, February 6th through 9th at Twin Creeks Ranch. We have meditation and yoga and we have energy healing. We have tons of nature hikes, pool, hot tub, incredible food. Will Smith's private chef, Evan Reiling, is going to do an entire vegetarian spread for us. We have 10 incredible sponsors. You guys are going to get really beautiful, high vibrational gift bags. And lots of teachings from David and I. We just love to share in this conversation to help move you past conditioning into the unconditioned parts of yourselves, because you don't have to settle for what you've been handed. You get to open up to who you've always already been. And this is a container of 4 days where we can go deep into that. I will put the link underneath this video. And if you guys want to join us, click on the link. If you have any questions, there's a contact form on the website where you can reach out to me. Yeah, and hopefully I'll see you guys there. And if not, just stay in the loop. I'm always in these conversations. And have a beautiful rest of your day. Take care.